Welcome! Hello! It's Monday night. It's Monday night, and we're back in our bullshit.
That we are. Hello.
Hi, everybody! We're both eating still. He's got chili and rice, I've got pasta. It's great.
It's good dindins. We hope that you are all also enjoying good dindins.
Brother of mine, I feel that since we have both had a pretty rough time over the last week.
It's been shite.
It's been a bit shite, yeah. That I think we want to take the energy down a little bit. Just have a chill.
Talking about bugs?
By talking about some bugs! We're going to talk about some bugs! Some bugs that I forgot to...
Baked potato jelly bean is an excellent
Some bugs
choice.
I forgot to hide because,
Why did you not hide the bugs?
because I was counting them off when you said I'd missed one!
Well, at least we did count them off, because you did miss one.
I did miss one, but still, that's not the point! None of you saw nothing. Okay? Neither of you saw nothing.
Don't give away our secrets to anyone else who comes in here.
Secrets of our bugs. Yeah, I want to bring the energy down because I am midway through a 11-day work period. This is my only day off in those 11 days, which is entirely my fault because I signed up for the extra shifts because they're all night shifts and life sucks. Focus on your potato. Potato is good. The potato is the most versatile of foodstuffs.
See, I am not entirely convinced, but I do appreciate the argument that says, you know, you can do a lot of things with a potato.
Do you have a front runner?
Front runner for best potato thing?
No. Something that's more versatile.
Something that's more versatile than the potato.
Because I can only think of one thing, and I'm not sure if I quite count it.
I mean, I would be tempted to say bread.
See, I was going to say rice, but very much for the same reason, I'm imagining.
I mean, this is the thing though, because I realise the difficulty with saying bread, yes, if we were talking about, I suppose we're talking about carbohydrate staples, but you could make potatoes into bread, so potato beats bread.
Yeah, because everything that bread can do, potato can do.
This is true. Although
I'm not saying you should butter a
less
slice of. I'm not saying you should butter a slice of potato, but
people butter slices of potato all the time.
true.
Like
But
what people do with like a roasted potato or like a baked potato regularly.
my
They
brain
just
went
put
raw
butter on
potato.
it.
My brain went raw potato when I said that. But
I mean,
because I was gonna say, baked baby potatoes and you shake them up with homemade garlic butter is fucking decadent.
so we just have to accept that the potato is the most versatile of all foods.
Yeah, but I think a strong argument could be made from rice. He says as he eats pasta.
I mean, rice is a solid option. Rice you can do a lot of things.
I'm not gonna fight all of Asia on this one.
Right, you can even make a sandwich with rice.
You can make a sandwich. You can make a sandwich with anything, okay?
Yeah. Although, technically, I suppose a rice sandwich is called a jelly donut.
Look, Matt. Only in the dub. We're not being dubbed, Chris.
Background music is intentional, I believe. Yes.
Yes, the background music is intentional. Is it too loud? Tell me about the volume, because I've slightly adjusted it, because we did it before once. I'm trying to sort this out so there's not just, you know, the two of us talking.
Alright, and this is Jonathan having a tiny bit loud, yeah, so bring it down a wee
I'll
bit.
turn it
Jay.
down then.
I mean, this is Jonathan's attempt to bring in some genuine royalty-free music, as opposed to me just bringing in stuff that's out of copyright.
Well, I fucking paid for it!
I didn't pay for shit. Prokofiev is free, mother huggers.
I bought this. Okay,
That's
cool.
better, yeah. Cool.
Can you still hear
Thank
it though?
you.
Is it still nice? It's still... Tell me
It
how
was never nice, Jonathan. It was just shite!
Look, man, I only found one track in my very... Stop being mean to me! Okay, I was like, look, I was on night shift last night, and then I got woken up at 9 in the morning by somebody aggressively strimming his hedge. Aggressively!
Aggressive hedge trimming.
Yeah. And then I went back, and I desperately tried to go back to sleep, more out of spite than anything else. And, I slept till like 11, and, I've been trying to put my brain back together all day.
Trimming your edge. Trimming your edge. eyebrows.
No, he's trimming his hedge, not his eyebrows. Do not take a strimmer to your eyebrows. Anyway, Chris.
Yes.
Do you know what a lepidopterist is?
No, I don't.
A lepidopterist is somebody who studies butterflies.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, hang on, sorry. Side note.
Damn it, Chris, I was doing a lead-in! Don't do a side note on the lead-in!
Super good. Don't take a strimmer to your hedge. Hedge. Okay. Sorry. No, so just, and this is delightful, which is, there's a comedian called Taylor Tomlinson who I follow on Instagram.
She's fucking magical.
She's brilliant. There's a little clip of her like asking people what their jobs were. And there's somebody who says they're a butterfly therapist.
I'm sorry, they're a what?
A butterfly therapist.
I'm sorry, they're a what now?
A butterfly therapist.
I mean,
apparently a job.
I mean, I know that when they are like pupating, the caterpillar essentially liquefies in there.
Yeah.
Like, so that's got to be pretty traumatic.
Well, sometimes apparently the butterflies need help getting past the trauma.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks, all butterflies have PTSD.
Yup. Butterflies have issues, man. They do.
That's only because the spiders keep trying to eat them.
Well, we're not talking about spiders today. That can be a different tier list.
I know, but that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to discount a few of our a few of the things that we originally put on the list.
Well, this is today, everybody. We are talking about the butterflies of Pokemon.
Yay! Hence why I asked about lepidopterists.
One of the things that we have discovered whilst looking at the butterflies of Pokemon is most of these butterflies are not butterflies.
They're moths.
Or millipedes.
In one case, yes. In another case, I'm genuinely not quite sure what to count them as. But we'll get to that.
So, yeah.
Also, can I just add a side note myself?
Go on.
I only know the word lepidopterist because of the sequel to Kingsman. The shit sequel to Kingsman.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a whole bit where Colin Firth's character, who somehow survived being shot in the head by Samuel L. Jackson in the first movie, because bullshit. Like proper sci-fi bullshit, not like regular bullshit.
Oh.
That's some bullshit. Has lost his memory and is obsessed with butterflies. So they just refer to him as the lepidopterist until he gets his memory back.
I mean,
we have a central through line off which everything branches. The last one was very much side notes and tangents because, fun fact, for those of you who did not watch our in-person stream where the two of us were in Chris's office talking some shit. Hi, Barry.
That's my wife. She wonderful.
You hug that woman. You hug that woman now.
She says hug you.
Yeah. That's the most awkward hug, right?
It was dreadful.
It's really hard to hug someone in a chair.
It is. Alright.
Yeah!
Just chatting shite. We're chatting about butterflies.
Oh.
Lepidopterists as well.
Are you including Venomoth?
So...
Yes.
We do have some moths in there as well.
We're getting there.
But they are honourable mentions. Which gets me onto our criteria for our butterflies.
But I wanted to finish ranting about the Kingsman sequel.
Do you want it?
Basically, it's shit, don't watch it. Watch the first movie, it's fucking great. and leave it at that. The prequel is also the prequel of Ralph Fiennes is also actually not bad, but the sequel, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, is kind of shit. So
was it not even worth it for Channing Tatum?
No, because Channing Tatum's actually barely in it.
Alright, well, I'm done.
He's barely fucking in it.
I need more Channing Tatum in all my films.
And it's less like James Bond does uber violence. And like, 'cause here's the thing. Some movies can be remembered for singular scenes. Like the first John Wick movie is heavily remembered for the club scene, which is brilliant. The Elton John bit was class. I will admit the Elton John bit was class. But the first Kingsman movie has 2 scenes, in my opinion, that just escalate it beyond, like, to God tier. The first one is, of course, the church scene, where Colin Firth murders his way through an entire Westboro Baptist chapter.
It's quite delightful.
Fun fact, for all but one of the moves in that scene, that's Colin Firth.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a man in his 50s doing, like, apart from the bit where he gets thrown into the pipe organ, that's a man in his 50s doing all those stunts. That's great. The second one is, of course, the scene where everybody's heads explode to Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, which is very hard to not watch and manically laugh.
Pretty good.
No, like, murdering an entire Westboro Baptist chapter to the tune of Freebird just lives in my head rent-free forever. It's a truly brilliant scene, and nothing in the other 2 movies has ever come close to it.
That's fair.
Although genuinely, like, the prequel, The King's Man, has got some good, has some genuinely good, like, heartbreaking character stuff. Like, Ralph Fiennes loses his son in a truly tragic way. And I mean tragic for World War One. Like, that's some serious S-tier tragedy.
Fair enough.
No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's one of 2 movies that I've ever actually, like, gone to see on my own.
I mean, we know which films I went to see on my own because I said it in the last stream.
What was that?
I went to see Maleficent on my own.
Oh, yeah.
And I rather enjoyed it.
For me, it was The King's Man and then the D&D movie.
How was the D&D movie?
Good! I enjoyed it! It's very dumb. It's very dumb. But it's very fun.
Hot take.
It's
fun,
like,
but dumb.
It's very D&D though. It's very D&D. Like, but like, not quite to, it doesn't, like, it breaks a lot of rules and it manipulates a lot of stuff and doesn't bother with a lot of stuff. But to the spirit of D&D, where it's just like, we've got a bunch of bisexual nutcases together and we're gonna do some dumb shit. Like, there's a point where they find one magic item.
No spoilers.
There's a point where they find one magic item and go, oh, we can exploit this. There's a whole fucking sequence about that, and I'm like, oh my god. That's exactly what it... There's so many moments where I'm sitting there being like, that's exactly what my D&D party would do. And you're all a bunch of fucking nutcases. You are! I love you dearly. I truly adore you all, but you're all a bunch of fucking loons.
I mean, this is true. This is why we play with you.
No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not an artistic movie. It's very much a home, like, in terms of, like, D&D scale, it's very much a home game and not like Critical Role, Dimension 20, Adventure Zone, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is the dumb shit that actually happens. It's great. I love it. So, shall we get on to the, now we're an 1/8 of the way through, shall we get on to the actual subject matter of this video?
Yes!
We are here to talk about bugs!
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 And for specific bugs.
Specifically, Pokemon bugs.
And specific Pokemon bugs.
Specific Pokemon bugs at that, because for the bug type in Pokemon being fairly well populated, like, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of creepies and crawlies.
Yeah.
For a long time, like, for a good half of the series' existence, bugs have been shat on.
Yeah, badly.
Like, it took until Generation 4 for bugs to get, like, really good. And they've kind of been on the up and up ever since. But, like, it's still hard to work with good bug types. Like, they've got a lot of weaknesses. There's not a lot that's weak to them, although the things that are weak to them are fairly strong types. So, like...
Dark Psychic. Grass.
Dark Psychic and Grass, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of standard for a lot of things.
That's kinda-
Also, yes.
kinda-
We need more bug strength.
More bugs. But, I gotta say, bug types throughout Pokemon gotta have some of the strongest designs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
We're not here to talk about that.
a lot of the ones I class in that level are not the ones we're going to talk about today. Like,
No.
there's no Heracross, there's no Pinsir, there's no Golisopod, there's no Centiskorch in here. Like, there's no Vespiquen. Unfortunately, we are talking exclusively about butterfly bugs. The kind of things where we have, like, you get, like, a little caterpillar kind of grub stage, you get a more sort of, like, bulky, like, sort of geometric pupate stage, and then you get the beautiful winged thingamabob, with a couple of exceptions, because fuck it. But I don't think there's anyone that exemplifies this better than the OG, the one and only Butterfree.
The most butterfly of all the butterflies.
The most butterfly of all this. All the girlies say I'm pretty butterfly for a white guy. Now,
just a cute ass boy.
Butterfree is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, because the last two tier lists we've done for this, the thing that started the genre, fuck you, that joke was great. The thing that started the genre, because in our, like, normal types review, it was Raticate, and then in our, bird review, it was Pidgeot. They both ended up in C tier, if I remember correct.
I believe so.
I want to put Butterfree higher than that.
I agree.
Butterfree is actually so brilliant. Like,
It's so good.
One, look at that design. That has gone beyond a butterfly. That is a little guy. It's just a little guy with great big butterfly wings. And, like, compound eyes are really scary. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Butterfree is supremely cute. And then, on top of that, not only does this little butterfly learn all of its bug type moves and then all, like, sleep powder and poison powder and shit as it sort of wafts its wings to fuck with you, this thing's fucking psychic!
Also, I would like to point out that you can teach it Hyper Beam.
I'm sorry, you can what?
You can teach Butterfree Hyper Beam.
You can teach Butterfree Hyper Beam?!
You can teach Butterfree Hyper Beam.
No, you can teach Butterfree Hyper Beam.
There was a wonderful webcomic that I read way back when. It's a Nuzlocke webcomic, and somebody had a Butterfree, and the Butterfree was called Dragon Slayer because it killed people with Hyper Beam. And it was so good.
There is also one...
Yeah, other points that the chat have made, absolutely, as well. That, you know, Butterfree from the anime, absolute scene-stealing god.
There is one other point I want to make.
So good. Go on.
Butterfree is Mothra.
Explain.
So, you remember how we were hating on Sword and Shield and all of its, Gigantamax and shit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Butterfree is Mothra!
To be fair, that's quite a good looking Gigantamax.
Like, as much as I do not like Dynamax as a mechanic, as a game mechanic, as a center for the kind of, like, the plot that was very much underused, and Sword and Shield in general can suck balls. You watch our earlier stream for that. Gigantamax designs on the whole, I really fucking like.
I mean, zoom in on this one because this is
It's
stunning.
really fucking nice, man.
It's so pretty.
Like, genuinely. Like, Gigantamax designs in general kick a lot of ass. Like, have you seen the
Garbodor Gigantamax is the best.
Yeah,
Garbodor Gigantamax is fucking
Garbodor. It made Garbodor cool.
Yup.
It made Garbodor, the literal garbage Pokemon, cool.
for those of you who don't know,
Garbodor is a literal pile of garbage.
But what they did when they made the Garbodor big was they made all the garbage big. So instead of it being like
Look, someone crashed
crisp
a cruise
packets
ship into it.
yeah, it's like instead of like crisp packets and like trash and all sorts, it was like oil tankers and ships and buses and buildings that were stuck in it, and it was just like this is so good.
Charizard Gigantamax can fuck off, but that's mostly on principle.
Yeah, because only basic bitches love Charizard.
Well, like Butterfree, Lapras. Lapras's Gigantamax was amazing. Butterfree, right. Lapras, Snorlax. There's so many really cool Gigantamax forms.
We're going off topic.
Yes, we are. The mechanics suck. The form is great. Butterfree is right. Butterfree is either A or S tier.
I'm here for A tier, but I have some stats for you. I have some stats.
Yeah, you give me some stats.
First of all, would you like to guess how tall Butterfree is?
2 feet?
Average?
2.5 feet?
3, nearly 4 feet. It's 3 foot 7 inches.
Let's go for 3 foot, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. So 43 inches tall.
Yep. So
that's a butterfly whose wingtips come to my waist.
Yeah, but like that's a big boy.
That's a big butterfly. That's a big huggy boy. I still want to hug it.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
my
man.
goodness.
Butterfree for its really adorable design, its great move pool with things like Psybeam and Psychic, and then Hurricane and Hyper Beam. I want to chuck that in S tier.
Also with Compound Eyes as a solid ability.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to put Butterfree in S tier.
I want to put Butterfree in A tier because I think there are better things.
I'm willing to.
I love Butterfree, but I'm also painfully aware that, in terms of its stats, it is very much, in the kind of middle ranges. Like, it's, 70 for speed. After Gen 6, it ended up with a 90 in special attack, which is pretty nice.
Not bad. Not amazing, but workable. Very workable.
But it's also important to remember that Bug and Flying is a dreadful type.
Oh, it's fucking atrocious.
Yeah. But it's also, we have to admit that it's got a really good move pool. You can learn a lot of TMs and HMs. And Compound Eyes as a standard ability is great.
Yeah, it's very
Tinted
fun.
Lens is the hidden ability, which is less good.
Tinted Lens is... Hang on, isn't Tinted Lens the ones that ups the damage of, not very effective moves?
Let me double check. Doubles the damage done by any move that the Pokemon uses which are not very effective. Okay, yeah,
no, Tinted Lens is fucking great, man.
Okay. I prefer Compound Eyes just because with a Butterfree and Compound Eyes, you get to, you end up with 98% accuracy on Sleep Powder.
No, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, which is great.
I'm willing to accommodate. I am willing to accommodate and put Butterfree in A tier.
Yeah, and again, I'm looking through its Pokedex entries, and I mean, its Pokedex entries are cute, but there's not a huge amount of interesting stuff in here.
There's not a lot of
the cool things.
Not a lot of great lore.
The cool things that Butterfree does do, is it has a superior ability to search for delicious honey from flowers. It can even search out, extract, and carry honey from flowers that are blooming over 6 miles from its nest, according to Ruby and Sapphire. According to Fire Red and Leaf Green, the wings are protected by a rain-repellent dust, and as a result, the Pokemon can fly about even in the rain, which is pretty cool. But again, that's most of what's in here, is it loves honey and it can fly in the rain. And it scatters a shit ton of poison on everybody it doesn't like.
I want a Butterfree.
So I'm like, these are pretty cool things.
I want a Butterfree that does the titular number from Singing in the Rain.
With a little hat.
With a little
and
hat.
A little raincoat. And a little umbrella.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? If we had that Butterfree, that would be above S tier. That would be just God tier.
Yes, it would. But
Yes.
here's the thing.
But
Every yin must have a yang. Every tails must have a heads. And we must discuss the opposite counterpart to Butterfree, our beloved Beedrill.
Beedrill.
Our beloved
Now-
Beedrill. Beedrill is an interesting one. Because
The hell at Echo when Chris is speaking.
it's a bee. It's a bee.
Is a bee.
It's a bee. It's a bee. It's a bee. It's a bee. It's a bee. I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I'm a bee.
Jay, you're not wearing your headphones, are you?
No, I'm not. I should be.
Right, that's why they echo.
Give it a minute. Technical difficulties.
While Jonathan does that, allow me to talk to you about the great bee that is Beedrill. Is, as you've all noticed, a bee. Is the archetypal bee.
It's a bee. It's a
It's-
Beedrill.
It's a poison and bug type. So it's a little bit different than Butterfree. It does lots of the stabby stab, and in Gen 1, it had the strongest bug move in the form of Twin Needle,
Yep.
which to this day is one of...
Still pretty good.
Like, yeah, and it's the only move that can poison steel types.
Not true.
You need an
Not
ability.
technically
otherwise.
true. There's an
Yeah.
ability
Yeah.
that lets you poison steel types, and I think there is another move. I'm not quite sure what it is. There is another move that lets you poison steel types.
Possibly in the new gens.
Yeah, I think it's like Gen 7 onwards. And I lost track of the fucking moves long before then.
Aye. No, Gen 7 doesn't have a poison type move that can poison steel types. It's
Well, to be
only
fair,
got
Gen
ability.
7 only really had like one poison type that absolutely dominated, and that was Alolan Muck, because Alolan Muck is the bomb.
Yes. But yes, so
We stand a gay Muck. We
we
stand a gay mess.
absolutely stan a game hug.
We absolutely stand a gay mess.
The other interesting thing though about Beedrill is that it has a Mega Evolution.
It has a Mega Evolution, which, fun fact for anyone who gives a shit, I tried to build a competitive team around. And failed horribly.
Yeah, it's not the best.
It's not the best, but like it has the potential to be like a really, really powerful. And here it is. Here is Mega Beedrill. Like,
Yeah. Like that's some Michael Bay Transformers looking shit. That's
yeah, that is something that
pretty
has come
fun.
in. That is a robot that has come from the future to just fuck you up. That thing will ruin your picnic.
Yes. And its ability, which is called Adaptability, basically makes all of its stab moves, so its moves that are the same type as it, just a billion times stronger.
Stab, same type attack bonus. For those
Indeed.
uninitiated in the Pokemon ways. Basically means like if this thing is coming at you with a bug move or a poison move, it's gonna hit you really fucking hard.
Now, the problem though is
It can't take a hit worth shit.
no, I was going to say coming away from the Mega is
right.
as soon as we come back to regular old Beedrill, its abilities are kind of garbage.
What's it got?
Swarm.
Swarm ups bug moves if you're like low health, but Beedrill doesn't have a lot of.
Health.
Oh, we got a bot! We got a bot!
Oh, damn! Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Chris, kill the bot! Kill the robot! Fuck you,
Actually,
Informative F.
Shit. Wait, let me. No!
Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel. Fuck off!
Damn it. How do I do the thing
Go
again?
to dogehype.com. Fuck off!
I'm trying to remember how to do the thing. Oh, God. It's been so long since we had a bot. I did this super quick last
Yeah,
time.
you did it. Like you did, like right on the thing.
Yeah, and now, because normally I was like, this is a little button. Is that moderator actually doesn't let grump? I'm sad. Mod
I found a
actions.
way to block them.
That's what we want.
Done it.
Cool.
Wacha!
Ah, thank you for reporting them, Kelly B. Thoroughly
Get 'em.
appreciated.
Get him!
Oh, this is... I'm so annoyed. I want to delete the thing. Where'd it go?
I can't find how to remove the message, but I have blocked and reported them.
Well, that's good. But yeah, I'm like, because
Ban? Oh,
Yeah.
banning it worked.
Hey!
How is banning work? How is banning different from blocking? Twitch,
None.
tell me your
God
secrets.
only knows.
Anyway, we
Right.
were talking about bees.
Yes, we were talking about
Bees!
bees. So,
Everything's made of bees.
this is the thing. So, the bee in question, Beedrill,
Drill.
although, it has a lower health stat than Butterfree, so it's got 65 for health, which is not actually, I think it's about the same as Butterfree.
No, it's shite.
It's not, yeah, it's pretty shite. So it's not going to stick around long, so it's, as an ability, Swarm doesn't help any, really.
It does not. Because it's not going to get
Bug
down to low
poison.
health. It's just going to fucking
Yeah.
die.
Aye, Bug Poison is a better typing than
Bonsoir,
Bug Poison.
Florian. Comment ça va?
Put your French away!
No.
Yes, it is a bug. We're talking all the bugs. Bonsoir!
C'est l'insect. Right.
Right. Well, so we have B. We
have
have
B.
B, who Angie B. And Angie B is fun.
He be angry.
He be Angie. And basically his whole deal is that he runs around and upsets everybody.
I'm also very
um,
glad that Beedrill learns Drill Run.
Does it now learn Drill Run?
It's learned Drill Run since Gen 6.
Has it actually?
think
That's
so.
so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, because I taught that to my Mega Beedrill.
Nice. But it's interesting. So if we look at the Pokédex stuff, basically all of the early stuff is like it has 3 poisonous stingers.
There's 3 poisonous stingers and it fucking hates you.
Yeah, that's
Like,
basically
Beedrill-
like its whole deal.
Beedrill is the guy you invite to the party and he drinks entirely alcoholic seltzers and tries to fight everybody.
Yeah, and it does it at high speed. But that again, a little bit like Butterfree. That's like all the information we have.
Yeah, like Beedrill's entire
Yeah,
personality
X-
is, you wanna go?!
X and Y. It has 3 poisonous stingers on its forelegs and its tail. They're used to jab its enemy repeatedly. And like that's and Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Beedrill is extremely territorial. No one should approach its nest. This is for their own safety. If it is angered, it will attack you in a furious swarm.
That's not untrue for Lara Tesla, that, like, Beedrill is that one person's boyfriend who you're pretty sure is a drug dealer. You're pretty sure is a drug dealer who gets high on his own supply.
What? You know what? Fair.
Like,
Beedrill is drug dealer. Yes.
in the heist crew of bug types, Butterfree is the person who will casually poison someone. Beedrill is the guy who starts the fight with the bouncer to cause a distraction.
Yes. And on that subject, it has a pretty solid 80 and 90 actually now in physical attack, but also weirdly and hilariously, it has the same special defense as Butterfree and the same defense as Butterfree
I would like to argue that we put Beedrill in B tier.
because it's a bee.
Partly because it's a B, partly because of all the reasons we've listed. Because it's like,
yeah.
it's not average enough to be C tier.
No, it's
but also I
definitely
don't
not
think
C
it's
tier.
quite as good or as varied as Butterfree to get the A tier.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. So this is
And
the
it doesn't
thing.
quite have the design.
Yeah, I'm like, in comparison to Butterfree, it does not have the same variety. It doesn't have anywhere near the same variety.
No.
It's a lot more specialized as Beedrill, but it's not like, it's not strong enough to really be, like, kind of A tier in that specialty. So I'm happy
Also,
with B. But also, I
don't
would
want-
say,
I don't
Sorry.
want to meet one.
yeah,
I would
Fair.
like to meet a Butterfree. I would appreciate meeting a Butterfree. I don't want to fucking meet a Beedrill.
yeah, I would.
I don't
hug a
like wasps the
Butterfree.
best of times.
I would
That
not- I
thing
would not
would
hug a
fucking
Beedrill.
traumatize me.
I will say, actually, Beedrill, because I do like Beedrill, and I think Beedrill's design is great. I think it's a solid design.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that.
Beedrill can't drink tea.
Yeah, between the two, Butterfree is going to be far more useful and far more cuddly in pretty well all situations.
I'd like a Butterfree on my shoulder. I wouldn't like a Beedrill on my shoulder.
I think that's very B-ist.
We're the Honey Brothers. We can be as B-ist as we like.
That's Oh, that's a good point. Beedrill is shorter than Butterfree.
Beedrill's shorter?
Yes.
I think that's because of the wings.
I think because of the wings, but Beedrill is 3 foot and 3 inches.
I mean, if you look at the size of Butterfree's wings compared to its body, I think that's entirely the wings.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
But I think this kind of brings us on to Butterfree is... Yeah, but it's really light because it's a bug.
Well, this is the thing, though. Not entirely, right? So, Beedrill is 30 kilos.
That's a lot for
Like
a
that,
thing.
yeah.
That's a lot for a creature to land on your fucking shoulder.
Aye, I'm
That's
like,
a 30 kilogram.
30 kilograms.
That's
right?
about... I think that's... I'm not going to estimate my own weight for that.
I'm 85 kilos.
Okay, so that's just over a third of your weight.
Yeah. Butterfree is
On
heavier.
average, then.
Oh, this is on average. Butterfree is heavier. Butterfree is 32 kilos on average.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Butterfree is fat.
That's a chunky butterfly.
It's
That's a butterfly who been on too much butter.
Yup.
Here's the thing.
Ash Ketchum is ripped. Absolutely.
Here's the thing.
Just in the anime, there is. Here we go. I've got my permissions again. That's fine. There's one dense motherfucker.
So we.
But in
No, we're
the
two dense
anime,
motherfuckers.
there is legitimately a scene where Ash does a caber toss, but like of a full-size tree. Like Ash Ketchum just lifts and throws a tree.
The world's most jacked 11-year-old.
Yeah, like, not kidding when when you say that he's ripped as fuck. He is indeed, So, yeah, he dents.
Also, he's not very smart.
No, he's not. He's dense in all senses of the word. I'm going to engage in some crinkling in a second. Excuse me.
Right.
Please.
Here's the thing, though. We've kind of been talking about things that the OGs. Now we're going to talk about the one that is a little bit forgotten, but is definitely still worth remembering. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to just humbly introduce, it's Venomoth.
Indeed. Is Moth.
Is Moth. This is Venomoth. Which evolves from Venonat, which is just a fluffy boy.
Now, Venomoth is here very much as an honourable mention because
Look at those
it
faces.
does
Look at
not
that
quite it does not quite fit the definition of having a larval and a pupal phase before it becomes a
No,
a
it
moth.
just goes from fuzzball to moth.
yeah. But it is worthy of notice.
Absolutely. Venomoths are actually very interesting because Venomoths are surprisingly powerful.
I mean, they're much stronger in terms of overall stats than either Butterfree or Beedrill.
See, that's the thing, is we praised Butterfree earlier for its adorable design, admittedly, which I don't think Venomoth quite has. And its psychic moves. Venomoth has those.
It does.
Venomoth, I find, is often very equivalent to Fearow. Here's for my last thing. Whereas its more famous counterpart is a 3-stage evolution with a very quite a generic design. This is the often forgot about later gotten 2-stage evolution that is less adorable, but absolutely takes way less shit.
Yeah, and I was going to say...
A
the
Venomoth
interesting-
will fuck you up if you try and cross it.
For a start, it's bug poison, the same as Beedrill is, so which is a better typing.
Yeah, because bug flying sucks.
Yes, it does.
It's just weaknesses across the board.
But equally
All the birds from our last video, the video before last, would just wreck through Butterfree.
I mean, it would wreck through any bug type, but the main thing that you struggle with as a bug flying type is that you have 5 weaknesses, one of which is at times 4 to rock, which is just not good.
Forget about rocks.
Yeah.
Why do we always forget about the rocks?
Let me have a Butterfree on the rocks. Oh, you mean death. So yes.
So it's because it's fire, flying, electric, rock, and
ice.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
not a
basically.
good time.
This is not a good. Bug and flying types are not having a good time. Chris and I once had a discussion before we started streaming, a while ago, about what like the best typing is for a Pokemon that exist. I think we came down at steel flying because I think we basically sat down and went, "Yeah, man, like Skarmory is the best."
I can't remember. I mean, I would need to double check again. I don't feel like it was steel flying. Steel flying is very good, but also has like 2 very clear weaknesses.
Like it came down with 2 weaknesses, which is like opposed to something like water and ground, which only has 1, but to 4 times. We basically, I think, because we went down with steel and flying, because it had a shitload of resistances and an immunity.
Fair.
I think that's what we
has
came down
2
with.
immunities. Dark and poison though is also very good. Obviously, only 1 weakness, which helps.
Which is ground. No,
Yes.
it's no
It's
ground
not
and
gonna...
bug.
No.
No, because
bug is
poison's
not very...
bug's only normally effective against poison, isn't it?
No, it's not very effective against poison.
Hmm.
So the poison helps you resist bug and it helps you resist fairy.
I choose you, A10 Warthog.
I mean, that is always an option.
Look, man, if
We
you can
can
get
always
enough of a
choose
kill
that
streak in a
type of
Pokemon
violence.
tournament to summon an A10 Warthog, you deserve to win. I don't know how much of a kill streak you need to get in that in the last Call of Duty game, because I don't play shit propaganda games for racists.
Yay! Let's have a hot take. Let's have a hot take.
Call of Duty is war propaganda designed entirely for racists.
I had thought that was Tom Clancy's.
Oh, Tom Clancy too! Tom Clancy too, but I'm talking about Call of Duty.
Fair.
Tom Clancy at least has variants in his war designs for shitheads.
Yeah. Ace Combat. Fair enough. But anyway, back to
fair.
Venomoth. Come on.
Back to Venomoth before the racists come crying down to kick in my door and piss in my letterbox.
I mean, it would happen in Dundee, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, like I'm very much in the place for Chris.
Let's dox everybody.
Don't dox me. I live in an undisclosed location.
May or may not be the sunniest city in Scotland.
Not right now, it fucking isn't.
Sorry.
I live in an undisclosed location that hasn't been okay since the 70s.
Well, let's talk about Venomoth.
Let's talk about Venomoth, please, for the love of God. It's a moth, it's venomous, it's a Venomoth.
And do you think it is bigger or smaller than Butterfree?
I think bigger.
It is bigger. Do you want to guess how?
4'2".
4'11".
4'11"?
I have met human beings who are shorter than Venomoth.
That's a 5-foot moth!
Yep.
That's a 5-foot tall moth! Like,
This moth is too tall to play the tallest dwarf at Disneyland.
holy shit, like, again!
It's a fact.
That moth is up to my fucking collarbone!
Yeah.
That is a moth up to my collarbone! Holy shit!
It's wild.
Like, what the fuck?
But also,
We already did Mothra.
and this is the thing that is absolutely wild.
That's holy shit.
So that's how tall it is. That's how big it is. Do you want to guess how heavy it is?
100 kilos.
Nope.
80 kilos?
Nope.
120 kilos.
Much, much lower.
6 kilos.
12 kilos.
12 kilos?
It is half the weight of Butterfree.
No. 12 kilos.
12.5 kilos.
I've had
On average.
meals heavier than that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This thing is 5 foot tall and 12 kilos. Venomoth is malnourished. Venomoth is severely malnourished.
That seems to be the way.
Fuck this. I'm getting a BMI calculator up. No, fuck you. I'm getting a BMI calculator up.
Do you have a BMI calculator for bugs?
Look, humans are the real monsters anyway, and as Franz Kafka said, okay, maybe we are insects dreaming of being men, or maybe the man is dreaming of being an insect, but now we are awake. Okay? I will use Kafka to fucking justify whatever I have to. Okay. Come on, NHS, give me a fucking calculator. Give me a calculator, NHS. Oh, the weight calculator is being updated and is temporarily unavailable. Fuck you. I'm gonna guess that if you are 5'11", and I repeat, I am...
There's 4'11",
4'11", my apologies. If you are 4'11", and I repeat, I am roughly 6 feet tall. Me. All of this is roughly 6 feet tall without my chunky shoes. If you are 4'11", if you are approximately 5 feet tall, and you are under 12 kilos, you're not malnourished. You're dead.
Or you bug.
Or you're a bug. You're a fucking bug, man.
Yep. So yeah,
That's terrifying. That's a ghost. Venomoth is a ghost. Venomoth should be ghost type. I want to... Game Freak, give me another... You gave another evolution to Primeape. Give me another evolution to Venomoth that is ghost type.
I mean, there are a lot of ghost types that are much heavier.
That's terrifying.
It is.
I know how heavy Giratina is, but that doesn't... Its BMI is 5.22. How close is that? A bug hunt, man! How close is 5.25 to being legally dead? What's the BMI of a skeleton? Fucking tell me, what's the BMI of an average human skeleton? So I'm gonna guess, like, 12 kilos in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. Because you said, what, you're 85 kilos?
I am 85 kilos, roughly.
And you're pretty slim.
Yeah, I'm about 6 foot and about 85 kilos. And I think is a reasonably...
Yeah, look, you're like 5'10" and fucking...
Fuck off 5'10", I'm 6 foot. Actually, technically, I'm 5'11", 3/4.
Right, I'm gonna get my fucking tape measure out and measure this one of these days because I truly believe that 6 feet tall is a lie.
I mean, I think
Because
that
every calculation I've taken is that says I'm 6 feet tall, and I am an amount taller than you. The average weight of a skeleton is 11 kilograms.
So, yeah.
Venomoth is only just heavier than a skeleton. Here's the thing, I'm gonna guess that average weight is actually not of
Roughly
someone who's 5 feet
15% of
tall.
your body weight, yeah.
I'm gonna guess that average skeleton weight is not of someone who's 5 feet tall.
Skeleton is roughly 15% of your body weight. Then let's...
Get the maths out. I didn't expect this bug hunt to have so many maths.
Indeed. I mean,
don't expect
that's how you know we're real professionals, because we use maths in our bug hunts.
I didn't expect there'd be so much mathematics.
5. Hey! So my skeleton should weigh roughly 12.75 kilos. So Venomoth weighs almost exactly the same as my skeleton.
Okay, I want to put Venomoth in B tier because it scares me, and if I put it lower, I think it might come and eat me.
Fine.
But also because of its sheer raw power.
I was gonna petition it for A, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I want to... Okay. Here's why I don't want to put Venomoth in A tier.
Okay.
Its design is honestly kind of boring.
Fair. It is not a hugely varied or interesting design.
It's
I will
really
grant you.
not. It's like, it's got the big eyes, but
also,
beyond that, it really doesn't have a lot going for it. Venomoth really feels like a dex filler in terms of its design.
But also, we have just learned that it's on average 4'11" and only weighs 12.5 kilos, which I think makes its design stupendously better.
Okay, here's how we're gonna clinch this between B and A tier. What does the Pokedex have to say?
So, the Pokedex, generally speaking, we have a number of entries that are along this theme. So from red and blue, the dust-like scales covering its wings are color-coded to indicate the kinds of poison it has, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Marvelous. Venomoth are nocturnal. They are only active at night. The favorite prey is insects that gather around streetlights, attracted by the light in the darkness. So, you know, predatory carnivore bug, which is always fun.
It's a bug that eats bugs.
That's mostly it.
That's
I have
not
to
a
say.
lot.
I like color-coded poisons. I think that's great. Like there's a slightly more detailed one from Pokemon Silver, which says the powder in its wings is poisonous if it is dark in color. If it is light, it causes paralysis. So I'm like, you know, that's fun.
That is pretty. That is.
I'd say it's at least as fun as Butterfree.
Yeah, okay. I'll put Venomoth up in A tier. Snuggle up with Butterfree.
Thank you. We can bump Butterfree up later if you feel really affronted.
Okay, I want to get through the next two real quick because we've only done the three and we're nearly an hour in.
We are.
Fuck, this might be a long one, folks.
Yeah.
I want to do the next two together because they really are counterpoints of each other more than most. Like Butterfree and Beedrill evolve in conjunction. These two literally evolve from the same worm. We are talking about Dustox, we are talking about Beautifly and Dustox. Okay? Now, I can't for the life of me remember what differentiates the two when they start as a Wurmple. I can't remember if it's gender or if it's IVs or what.
It's the reason. It's the thing.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Now,
corresponding
Dustox.
hidden personality value.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Dustox.
Dustox.
I'm not a huge fan of Dustox's design. I do like the whole sort of semicircular wing thing. I do like that.
I like Dustox's design. I
But-
think it's fun.
I don't know, the 3-eye thing is a bit
It weirds
freaky
you
for me.
out.
It
You're a
weirds me out
little bit of trypophobia.
It makes it look dead.
I mean, I disagree.
It looks like something has tunneled into its skull 3 times.
I disagree. Firmly disagree.
Okay, fair. But I will say in favor of Dustox, in terms of like mechanical and move capability, Dustox is bitchin'.
It is pretty bitchin'.
So I remember
Hey.
Dustox gets all the psychic shit and all the sleep shit that Butterfree gets, and is like actually pretty fucking good.
I mean, it's the same stat balance as Butterfree and Beedrill. Whereas Venomoth has much higher stat balance, Dustox is in the same place.
Cool.
But again, you got bug and poison typing, which is solid. You get some really good moves, including Moonlight, so it can restore health, which is class. It's again fairly similar to Butterfree in a lot of ways, as well as Beedrill. It's a height of around about 3'11",
Fair.
corresponding weight of about 30 kilos. So again, we're kind of back into that. We understand this slightly more territory. As a fun moth.
It's a fun moth. I do understand a fun moth. I like Beautifly's design a little bit better.
Fair.
Because Beautifly, if you just, sorry, let me just don't jump around it for a second. Here's Dustox. Here's Dustox zoomed in. Like the little grubby legs, it's just the eyes, honestly, man. Like I really like this style of wing design. Like genuinely, I fucking love that. That's a really fucking cool sort of style of wing design. I love it on Mega Salamence. I love it on one of our later entries. I love it on this. It's really cool. But just those eyes make it look like it's wearing a mask that makes me think it's dead in there.
Little potato baby. Is a little potato baby.
Conversely,
sunglasses.
Conversely, we have Beautifly, who I understand just by his their fucking name is designed to be pretty. And, like, I think that little proboscis is really cute.
So, this is the thing. Because I like both designs. I think Beautifly is gorgeous. With its big, long, drain the blood out of its enemy's nose.
Yeah!
But also, I think Beautifly, mechanically, as a Pokemon, is garbage.
I will 100% give you that. I tried training a Beautifly way, way, way back. It sucks. Beautifly really, really sucks. But here's the question, Chris.
Yep.
Would you play a Pokemon Coliseum ROM hack where instead of your opening 2 being Umbreon Espeon, they were Beautifly and Dustox?
I mean, yes, I would play it. But I would also be like, oh, I'm fucked.
But that's because you'd play any Pokemon Coliseum ROM hack at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's just a bad question. But also, I wouldn't be happy to have those two as my default thing. Also, you want to hear something really unfair?
Uh-huh.
So, you know how a bunch of Pokemon got a stat boost in Gen 6?
Yep.
Beautifly got it and Dustox didn't.
Really?
Yep.
This is pretty people privilege!
It is pretty people privilege. Beautifly got a boost to 100 base special attack. Dustox got fuck all. Which is annoying because Dustox not only has a better move pool and better typing, but, is just more fun. But Dustox, because Dustox favors defense. This is the problem for Dustox. Dustox favors defense.
It's a chunky bug.
Yeah, so it's got, its attack and special attack are both base 50, which is shite.
Which is truly shite.
It's like, it's like the bare minimum. But its defense and special defense are 70 and 90 respectively, which is higher than most of the other. But higher than most of the other butterflies. So I think from its stats, that's going to be what keeps it away from being, like A tier for me. Although also, can I just read you some Pokedex?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
So Pokemon Ruby, Dustox is instinctively drawn to light, but swarms of this Pokemon are attracted to the bright lights of cities, where they wreak havoc by stripping the leaves off roadside trees for food. So I just love the idea that, like, a swarm of Dustox come, strip all of the leaves from every tree in your city, and then fuck off. And everybody's like, no, you bastards!
See, here's the thing. Speaking as somebody who is chronically sleep deprived, and sometimes doesn't go outside as often as he should, I would fully walk outside in the middle of summer, see that, and be like, oh, fuck, is it January already?
Yeah, I love that.
I was scared that would freak the shit out of me for a minute.
Well, you know what? And here's the thing the other thing I love about Dustox's entries, right? So, Pokemon Sapphire entry, when Dustox flaps its wings, a fine dust is scattered all over. The dust is actually a powerful poison that will even make a pro wrestler sick. This Pokemon searches for food using its antenna-like radar. But it's the specifically a pro wrestler. A pro wrestler would get sick from this. Not just anybody, a pro wrestler would get sick.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? It's not a fucking Dustox stew, that's what I'm telling you.
The Rock is cooking the flu. Oh dear. So yeah,
Triple H stands for
Holy
hell! It's Dustox! That was a reach. That was a hell of a reach. Let's just put them all in. Let's put them all in B tier.
I would put Dustox in B tier, and I would put Beautifly in C tier because I think Beautifly is like the mid-standard.
That's entirely goddamn fair because Beautifly kind of only has its design going for it.
Yeah, I'm like, let's if we just, to make sure everybody knows that we're not just being mean to Beautifly.
We're being mean to Beautifly.
We are. So Beautifly, height 3'3", weight 28 kilos. So it's actually roughly the same as Beedrill, if I remember correctly. It's all of its Pokedex entries are about pollen. It cares for nothing but pollen.
Pollinate! It's a butterfly Dalek. Just pollinate!
Sorry, no, and actually, to go with that, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, despite its appearance, it has an aggressive nature. It attacks by jabbing with its long, thin mouth. So yes!
Give me a fucking pollen.
It is a Dalek of pollen.
Give me a fucking pollen, mate.
That
Give me
now
a
makes me want to
fucking
give
pollen.
it a better rating. And it does have
I
a
think
100 base special attack, which is great. But it has a far narrower move pool. Like, it's got much less that it can learn. It really does mostly just get flying moves and grass type moves, and that's kind of it. And it doesn't get stabbed from the grass moves, which makes life harder for it. So it's you know, and it gets Bug Buzz way later on. But like it struggles a lot. Does Beautyfly, particularly in early gens, it struggled a lot as well. When you know it's you're running around with this level 10 bug, whose best move is Absorb or Gust, and everybody around it's like rocking things like Ember and Double Kick and shit, and it's like
Yeah. Also,
it struggles to keep up.
Also, don't worry, everybody. My camera has just... I think I hit my camera when I picked my mic up that time, and it just... My camera is a pernickety little asshole, so it has just decided not to.
And the answer is Red Diamond. It cannot stab. It can only suck.
You suck.
You suck. No, don't suck my innards.
Go back to Russia. Fucking
That
hell.
was not the reference I was prepared for.
I'm amazed you were prepared for any reference coming from this. Also, yeah, so this is...
Eyebrows. Yes, absolutely.
I'm just out of here now. I'm gone.
Gone. No chance of bringing your camera back.
It's dead, Jim.
It's dead, Jim.
It's
Oh, no.
dead, Jim.
Well, everybody, you're just gonna have to look at me now.
Yeah, you can only look at his face and whatever goddamn mons come up on the screen.
Yeah, I will say actually that Beautyfly. If Beautyfly reminds me of anything, it reminds me of a film called Starship Troopers.
Oh God.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that.
We had a Starship Troopers reference earlier in this chat.
Did we?
Yeah, we got the enchanted battle going. It's a bug hunt, man! A bug hunt!
Ah, I forgot.
Oh,
that was
fuck
from
you,
Starship
Badger.
Troopers. It's this is an improvement. It's been a long time since I saw Starship Troopers. I watched Starship Troopers, I think, when I was 11 years old.
I mean, it's got Neil Patrick Harris as a psychic Nazi, so...
Oh my god, it does! I forgot about that. That was before I knew who Neil Patrick Harris was.
Yeah,
I fucking love
and it's
Neil
got
Patrick
a...
Harris.
It's got that... Probably one of the best sight gags in all of cinema.
Oh?
It's the point where the guy is joining up and he's talking to like the desk sergeant or whatever, and he shakes his hand with a prosthetic hand and says, "The army made me the man I am today," and then he pushes away from the desk and reveals he's got no legs. People thought Starship Troopers was serious.
That's pretty great.
Like,
That's the thing though, because I watched it when I was like 11, I didn't get any of this. I just have like traumatic flashbacks to the guy getting his brain sucked out through a tube.
I don't remember that bit.
That's like when the first dudes get killed and eaten by the bugs, like it like stabs its proboscis into the thing, and of course because it's basically pre-CGI, so you just get this, like, you know, in close scene of them, like, you know, pulling, like, brain matter up through, like, a plastic tube, and it's just like, oh, wow, that's
Hey, I'm back! Fuck all of you!
We got ya.
Back, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like Paul Verhoeven's other sort of, like, main movie that people are known from, RoboCop, people didn't realize it was a... Fuck you, Badger. People didn't realize it was a satire. People didn't realize that RoboCop was supposed to be like a deconstruction of police heroism and shit like that.
I mean, people are not very smart. Things you learn in retail. People are not very smart. Obviously, everyone in this chat is a genius.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They came out to watch us on a Monday night.
Obviously means they are peak intellect.
It means they got nothing else to do.
We appreciate all of you.
Oh, I love you
nothing
all!
else to do.
I love and cherish all of you. I am very, very happy that you were all here. I'm just saying, you didn't have anything better to do on a Monday night than listen to two idiots talk about bugs.
Well, speaking of, let's not waste their time. Let's move on to the next bug.
Well, because we actually have to do two again. We've got to do them in pairs. Because this is, once again, the same evolution chain. We are talking about Wormadam and Mothim.
No, we've got one before that.
Did we?
Yeah. Jesus, Jay, you forgot it again.
What was it?
The other Gen 3 bug, you dipshit.
What was it?
Masquerain.
Oh, fuck! Fucking Masquerain.
This is the bug he forgot because he hates it so much that he forgot it exists.
It sucks!
It does suck.
Masquerain,
to
it
explain
sucks!
why.
Alright, let's go on a fucking rant. You know what? Let's go on a fucking rant. We're
Do
talking about Masquerain. This floaty motherfucker. Now, I want to start with this. Masquerain evolves from a Pokemon called Surskit. Now, Surskit, I really like, because pond skaters, as bugs, are some of the coolest bugs out there. In my opinion. Because I love a little Jesus bug. Okay? This is a little thing that just dances across the water just by going... and not being heavy enough to sink, and they're really cool. I really like them. They're really fun to see in the wild. Masquerain sucks at all of that. I don't even know what kind of bug it's supposed to be. It's like got little wings on its ass, and it's got like a big set of... because that's not its wings! That's not its wings to go like that! That's not its fucking wings! Okay? Here's the thing. Masquerain, here's the thing. Because I know a little bit about evolution and like how wild animals work. When insects have certain patterns on their bodies, you'll see this a lot in butterflies, where they have like big circles on their bodies. It's to confuse predators and make them think that they have eyes where their eyes are not. Because, you know, evolutionarily speaking, you want to protect your eyes. It's where you see out of. Okay?
It also makes you less likely to be attacked if the predator thinks you can see them.
Exactly. And if they get into your eyes, they can get into your soul, because that's the windows to your soul, and nobody wants to have a bug get their soul ripped out, okay? Masquerain has not only, like, 2 split wings, which, you know, don't offer that passive buff, because they don't look like eyes when they're split. It would have to be sitting there having them joined together the entire time.
I would also like to point out those are antenna.
Those are antenna.
Those are antenna.
Well, it definitely gets HBO on that.
Allow me to read you from Pokemon Ruby.
Please, because Masquerain sucks.
Masquerain intimidates enemies with the eye-like patterns on its antenna. This Pokemon flaps its 4 wings to freely fly in any direction, even sideways and backwards, as if it were a helicopter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How big's your Masquerain?
2 foot and 7 inches.
That is tiny compared to some of the bugs we have had on offer today. I think that is the smallest bug we've had on offer today.
It is the smallest, but you want to know how heavy it is?
How heavy?
It's 3.5 kilos.
Yeah, Masquerain is a tiny... Masquerain is Wee Man Syndrome as a bug. Okay? It's this little dude. He didn't grow up as big and strong as he thought he would because he didn't drink his milk. And now he's taking it out on everybody else. He's fucking waddling up to your Butterfrees and your Beedrills who are just wanting to have a quiet drink at the bar. Like, Beedrill doesn't want any trouble. He's having trouble lifting the glass because he's got fucking needles for arms. Okay? Venomoth's kind of there helping him, getting him a straw. Masquerain's the guy who's fucking walking up, chest first, and being like, oi, 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 oi. You want to fucking go then? You want to fucking go outside? And then they get outside, and Beedrill is like, look, man, I don't want any fucking trouble. I'm just here for a drink with my buddies. Masquerade's like, yeah, mate, you're too fucking scared. You want to fucking go, mate? You want to fucking go? And then Beedrill stabs him, and then has to go to jail for murder, because Masquerain is then dead, because it sucks. I refuse to recant my testimony. Masquerain is F tier. fuck you if you think otherwise.
It's not supposed to be a mosquito, weirdly enough.
No, it's supposed to be a failure.
I mean, it's listed as the eyeball Pokemon.
Oh, fuck off. Gastly's more of an eyeball than that is. No, it's previous evolution skims on water.
Yes.
The previous evolution... Fuck it. Get me Surskit.
Yeah, get Surskit up.
Here's the thing. Previous evolution is this little guy.
Who is an actual pond skater.
Who's so cute. He's so cute. He's just a little guy with his little legs, and he just skates across the pond. This guy doesn't want any trouble. This is a nice little dude. This is a little kid going on his paper round, giving his fucking papers out around the lake. He's a cute little dude. He's nobody has a problem with him. He's a nice guy. Everybody likes him.
He's got a little hat.
He's got a little hat. We love Surskit. It's just a problem he evolves into a little shithead.
Yeah.
Masquerain is F tier. Fuck you.
I mean, this is right. So, from a mechanical point of view, aside from Jonathan's absolute despising of Masquerain's design,
Which you share, by the way.
I do share. I think it's a garbage design.
It sucks.
I do. I also really hate pastel orange with pastel blue as a combination. I'm not a big pastels guy.
Like
generally.
if you're gonna do blue and orange together, you gotta go the full Iron Brew and just intensify it, man. You gotta go that darker blue and neon.
Yeah, I feel that generally feels better.
You gotta go hard.
Masquerain,
You're wrong,
its
and it
ability
sucks.
is Intimidate, which is, in keeping with the Pokedex thinking that bugs having eyes on them is because,
He's 2
they want
feet
to bully people.
tall.
Literally 2 feet tall. So, difficult one.
Butterfree, who is shaped like a friend.
Oh my god.
Is more
Jay.
terrifying than
No, Jay.
What?
Jay.
What?
Pokemon Emerald and Sapphire Dex entry. Right,
Didn't
so
introduce
everybody,
this
so
stuff.
let's just make one thing very clear. So Masquerain evolves from Surskit, who is a pond skater. We have agreed. And Surskit is bug and water type. Its whole thing is being on lakes, being, around water.
Just being cute.
Masquerain, who literally has rain in its name, but becomes bug and flying type because raisins.
Rainsons.
Apparently, it can't fly when its wings get wet.
Putting you in F tier where you fucking belong. I refuse to hear any more of this. I'm putting you in F tier where you fucking belong.
That is a confused design philosophy. That's all I'm gonna say. It got a big buff. It got a big buff in Gen 7. For
Really?
some reason.
Why did Masquerain get a buff? Is it because it sucks? It's because it sucks.
It's because it sucks. No, but it got a 40-point boost.
Really?
Yeah, like not a little boost, like a big boost.
That's huge.
Yeah, so it went from a 414 stat total to a 454 stat total.
I mean, both of them suck, but still.
Yeah. But because what it got boosted from 80 to 100 special attack and from 60 to 80 speed. However, its move pool is also terrible.
Still sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
So
Oh my
Masquerain sucks balls.
Its move pool is so small. Like its natural move pool, it learns like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It learns like 8 moves.
So we can just
It's
Red
all
Diamond
like
in the chat just going, what's the fucking point in that? Yeah, what is the fucking point? It's Masquerain. It sucks. Stop bothering to use it. Okay, Surskit should have been a single evolution.
So we've established Masquerain is Z. It's garbage.
Okay, if I
F
had
tier.
anything lower than F tier, I'd put it in it. Anyway, let's move on to our next duo.
Happy things.
Happy things. We're going to talk about actually a really interesting set of designs with Wormadam, and then the slightly less interesting, but possibly also like a still nice conversion thing with Mothim as well. Because I want to discuss them both together.
That's fair.
Because both Wormadam and Mothim evolve from Burmy. Now,
Yes,
I'm
please
showing
show
you Wormadam right now. Fun fact about Wormadam is it has multiple forms. depending on where it evolves. Because Burmy is based on things like the caddisfly, where it like builds like a shell of just shit that it finds and just like gathers shit from the natural environment to like form around itself. And when it becomes a Wormadam, that solidifies and stops changing. So Wormadam can be bug and grass, bug and ground, or bug and steel, depending on what it is. Like it can grow up in forests and be all leafy like the one you can see here, or it can, oh god, my internet's being really slow today. Or it can be like sandy, like this one here, or it can make itself out of trash, like this one here. And this is like one of my favorite kind of things in Pokemon, genuinely, where a Pokemon will evolve alongside humans and like take in elements of human life and properly evolve and adapt to the modern world. I fucking love it when Pokemon do that. I'm just showing you the plant cloak because it's staring straight at the camera and therefore into my soul, and I think if I have it off screen for too long, it's going to kill me.
It is. I have to say, and I think it is a genius idea, in terms of like
it's a great piece of design. It's a wonderful little bit of just like working mechanical into design.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly agree. And each cloak has a different stat set.
Yeah.
So its stats reflect the environment that it's basically grown up in.
Weirdly, Trash Cloak is the least trash.
Trash Cloak is in fact the least trash because Bug and Steel.
Bug and Steel is surprisingly great.
It's so good.
Like
typing, it's so good.
You got like a 4 times weakness of fire, but
and that's
kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you also get fucking 8 resistances. This is great.
Yeah, no, it's great. But the other thing is, I think it's based on gender.
It is based on gender.
Like
so Wormadam are all female.
Yeah, Wormadam are all female, and then if you have a male Burmy, it will always evolve into this guy. This little guy! Look at Mothim!
Mothim is where the caddisfly sheds all of its nest.
Yeah.
And discovers that underneath the nest, it's grown wings.
Because here's the thing. Like, I don't know a lot about Mothim mechanically, but it does follow kind of that slightly fairy and very, like we saw earlier with Butterfree, that slightly fairy look of just a little guy with bug wings.
And it's quite fun in terms of what it does. And interestingly, actually, reading through its Pokedex stuff, in keeping with its shedding of its kind of cloak that it has as Burmy and Wormadam, they don't nest. Mothim do not nest.
Really?
Yeah, they are nomadic. So it flies and it floats on the wing, and it steals honey from Combee.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. It steals honey from the big bees.
Like Combee are really small.
Oh, Combee are really small. Vespiquen aren't.
Vespiquen aren't. Vespiquen's a whole ass. Vespiquen's got like a whole ass colony up her dress.
Yeah. So yeah, no. So it basically it's a nomadic honey gatherer.
It's very much
fascinatingly, it has equal attack and special attack stats.
Really?
94 base attack and special attack.
Oh, that's not bad actually.
Yeah. 66 base speed.
That's a bit not great, because that's kind of the one thing a lot of bugs have. Like Ninjask isn't on this list, but it's
for a reason.
For a reason. Because we have to talk about Ninjask, we have to talk about Shedinja, and that raises problems.
Yeah. I do think that the issue for Mothim, mechanically speaking, though, having sacrificed speed and everything else to give equal attack and special attack, is it does become something of a generalist. Whereas I think the magical thing about Wormadam is each of the 3 cloaks is brilliant at something different.
Like, that's the thing, is not quite so true nowadays because there's better things for it, but like previously you could run a Sandy Cloak or a Trash Cloak on a Sandstorm team and do pretty well with it. Like, it had versatility.
Yeah.
Like,
and also,
Trash Cloak Wormadam is tanky.
Yeah.
Which is rare for a bug. Bugs don't have tankiness.
No.
Like, that was a bug that could take a punch.
Yeah. Base 95 defense and special defense.
It's alright. It's alright. Plus, it's great typing.
Yeah. So it's very positive. Plant Cloak, I have to say, is terrible typing. That is the only problem for Plant Cloak.
Yeah, Bug and Grass sucks.
Bug and Grass is awful, and we're going to come on to that more later in one of my favourite terrible Pokemon. But yeah, you've got 2 times 4 weaknesses. You've got 6 weaknesses overall. It's just a rough time of it. Whereas your Sandy Cloak has an electric immunity and only 4 weaknesses, and your Trash Cloak has a poison immunity and 1 weakness. But it's all 3 of them are good at different things, and that's really good. Whereas Mothim is very much a jack of all trades, master of fuck all.
Yeah, basically, if you have a Wormadam infestation, bring a flamethrower. However, though, right. So I want to put Wormadam in D tier.
I would put Wormadam. No, I don't.
So here's
want
the
to
thing:
put Wormadam.
it's a very much a generalist. It's kind of boring with its mechanics. It's not got a lot in terms of its Pokédex.
That's Mothim.
No, sorry,
Mothim.
Sorry, I want to put Mothim in D tier.
Yes.
My apologies.
That's
I'm
fine.
so
yes,
sorry.
Mothim in D tier. Absolutely.
So sorry.
It is less good. It is less good than Beautifly.
That's the thing. Mothim's alright. Like,
yeah.
If you met a Mothim, it'd be like, oh man, hey, how you doing? You alright? You'd have a quick chat, and then you'd kind of realize why you don't hang out that much.
Yeah, they've not got a lot to say.
Like, you don't not like it, but
it probably
guy's not got a lot going on in his life.
No, probably watches way too many soap operas.
Mothim watches Law and Order. That's Mothim's idea of a night in, is it watches Law and Order. Wormadam, on the other hand, I kind of want to bump up to C tier because it can be a little lackluster, but I absolutely love the way that it's like it has those divergent forms. I think that's a great piece of design.
I agree, but I think actually because as well each form has a different move pool as well.
Ah, shit.
What?
No, you're gonna ask me to put them. You're gonna ask me to tier them individually, aren't you?
No, I'm not. But I think I'm gonna say that real commitment to having the variety there, and also the fact that fucking Sandy Cloak, Wormadam learns Fissure, which is why.
Yeah!
And Sucker Punch. Well, they all learn Sucker Punch actually.
They all learn Sucker Punch, but Sandy Cloak gets an Oko move. Yeah,
which is just like, and fucking Plant Cloak gets Leaf Storm for fuck's sake.
Generation was introduced.
Yes. So I'm like, actually, I think that for its variety, for its commitment to its design sort of philosophy, and for the fact that each one specializes reasonably well in something, I would put it at B tier. I think
I don't really have an argument against that beyond its occasionally lackluster stats, so I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna put Wormadam in B tier. We're gonna put Wormadam in B tier.
Yeah, especially since actually in terms of lackluster stats, it has better stats than Beedrill or Dustox.
Okay, Wormadam belongs solidly in B tier.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck. Right, we are speaking of lackluster things. We're moving on to. I can't quite remember what. I think this is still Gen 4, isn't it? Or is this Gen 5? We're on to Levani!
Gen 5.
Levani is Gen 5, cool.
I adore Levani.
Levani has a great design.
I will acknowledge that it is a grass bug type, which is a terrible
Sewaddle,
typing.
Swadloon, and Levani, I think, all have great designs because they're like kind of mantis-like. Sorry, I'll put the big picture up. Because they're all very like mantis-like, but with a theme of weaving into them. Like, because like it's a whole thing of Levani weaving clothes for like their Swadloon and Sewaddle kids. It's a really nice piece of lore and design coming together. However, in terms of typing and usage, they are trash.
It is now
but very friendly. Like I would love
super friendly.
I would have a Levani in my house.
Yes, I would, and I think I
would let that in. I would let that through my front door for a cup of tea.
It would mend all your clothes, just like by default. And
Well,
this
there are
is
holes in
all-
these jeans.
Yeah, all 3 evolutions, their whole thing is just like going and like finding cool shiny things to make clothes out of. That's basically their whole deal. It's 3'11". It's about 20 kilos, which is fine because it walks on the ground. It's a standing
Spindly.
bug, and it's a spindly, huggy boy.
Yeah.
It's got fairly decent stats, you know, to compensate for its god awful typing.
It's like Buggrass is genuinely one of the worst typings in the entire fucking game because
It's so bad.
neither type benefits the other really. Like it
Nope.
doesn't get rid of Grass's poison, fire, or flying weaknesses. In fact, it makes 2 of those worse. It doesn't get
Yep.
rid of the ice weakness. It doesn't get rid of Bug's rock weakness because rock is actually normally effective against Grass.
Yep.
And it doesn't get rid of oh god, what are Bug's other weaknesses apart from fire and flying? Does it have another weakness?
No. So Bug only has 3 weaknesses. Grass has 4.
And none of those change. They just get worse.
No. 2 of
None
them,
of-
yeah.
None of those are mitigated. And it doesn't really get any extra resistances, does it?
No, the only extra resistance it gets is to grass.
Excellent.
So you have a 4 times resistance to grass.
You have 4 times resistance to grass and then a 4 times weakness to both fire and flying. Basically, Talonflame uses this thing for nibbles.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Just to bring back
They
to the
are-
bar scenario, Levani is, however, the nice person who sits at the end of the bar, and if you get to know them, they're there every week. They're like, they're a barfly, but they don't drink a huge amount. They're there at the end of the bar. You speak to them, you chat to them, they'll buy you a drink.
Levani is very clearly an arts kid. Like,
Yeah.
Levani is, and it's specifically like, you know, like the kind of art student who has always lived in a flat share, has never not lived in a flat share, but like keeps the place really tidy. You know,
Yes.
like always
Yes, no,
wants
you're
to
right.
like pitch in and hang out and help with your project. Probably gets a little too involved in like one element and isn't good overall management.
See, that's the thing, is like, I think you and I are looking at Levani at 2 different stages of its life, because you're seeing it as the art kid, I'm seeing it as the single mother who absolutely fucking loves their kids.
Yeah. I mean, there's elements of both. It
Like,
is
they only
literally
lost, like, the only reason their
nurturing
husband is
Pokemon.
gone is because they got eaten by a Talonflame. Okay, it was entirely either like a bereavement or an amicable divorce, and Levani just fully fucking loves her kids. Like, Levani
No,
is just
this-
there for everybody. She is everybody's mum.
Levani is quite literally the nurturing Pokemon.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Abilities wise, Swarm or Chlorophyll.
Eh.
Swarm is shite, Chlorophyll up speed in sunlight, or hidden ability Overcoat.
Overcoat's
Not
good.
overly. Overcoat's alright.
Overcoat
I was
gives it a
gonna
lot
say-
of splash ability
Yeah.
that its typing really doesn't allow for.
Nope. Your Pokedex entries. Upon finding a small Pokemon, it weaves clothing for it from leaves using the cutters in its arms and sticky silk.
Exactly.
So,
See what I mean? That's everybody's mama.
As we've been saying, yeah.
Levani is the Pokemon equivalent of you feed the Waynes that are in your house. Doesn't matter whose Waynes they are.
So yeah. Oh, this is cute actually from Alpha Sapphire. It keeps its eggs warm with heat from fermenting leaves. It also uses leaves to make warm wrappings for Sawaddle.
So, based on the criteria we established for Beautifly, which is
Yep.
love the design, everything else sucks. I want to put it in C tier.
I mean,
I can't in good
It's a
conscience put it any
twink.
higher.
okay, that ruined it. It's a
Okay.
twink.
Levani goes in C tier, and we don't address that last comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I love it so much, but also yeah.
Now we're going to talk about its big brother. The one who, like, you meet the nice, friendly Levani, but if you give it any shit, its big brother shows up and, meet Scolipede!
Scolipede is delightful.
Scolipede's fucking terrifying! Scolipede is genuinely one of the toughest and scariest bugs out there. Because you see that. How tall is a Scolipede, Chris?
Hang on. I'm just getting to it. I'm getting to it. The answer is tall because it's basically a centaur bug.
Yeah. That's a millipede that stands like a centaur.
Ah!
How tall?
Now, this I think is admittedly nose to tail, but Scolipede is 8 foot and 2 inches on average.
That motherfucker is 8 foot tall.
Yep.
That motherfucker is 8 foot tall. Now, what's Scolipede's base speed? Because Scolipedes are actually really, really fast.
It has a base speed of 112, Jonathan.
Yeah, this motherfucker will see you messing with its buddy Levani, will loom over you, and then there is no escape because you cannot outrun this bitch.
It will hit you like its signature move, Steamroller.
And then back over you. Like, this is the point where, like, Scolipede is that one scary friend that everybody has who is, like, only scary because they're hyper overprotective and they look fucking terrifying.
I love how you say everybody has that friend.
Look, you either have that friend or you are that friend, okay?
I'm definitely not that friend.
I've met McCracken, okay? I know you have those friends.
Yeah. Oh dear. I mean, yeah. So, this is great. Sorry, just yeah. So, Pokédex entry for Pokemon Black. With quick movements, it chases down its foes, attacking relentlessly with its horns until it prevails.
They will never find your body.
Yeah, very much. Pokemon X, it clasps its prey with the claws on its neck until it stops moving, then finishes it off with deadly poison.
To answer your question, probably this kind of person is usually single, but has like a load of friends they're really protective over.
Jay,
yeah.
Sorry, one last one that will make you particular feelings. Pokemon Shield. Scolipede engage in fierce territorial battles with Centiskorch. At the end of one of these battles, the victor makes a meal of the loser.
Okay. Centiskorch is fire and bug type. This thing is weak to fire. It still goes toe to toe with a battle it does not have any right winning, and it still comes out victorious. That makes me feel some kind of way. I want to put Scolipede in A tier because, like, not only does its badass design look incredible, like, going from, like, Venipede, which is just, like, a little angry dude, into Whirlipede, which has that whole steamroller aesthetic, into unraveling into Scolipede. Mechanically speaking, it's actually really kick-ass. Like, Scolipede's move pool's really fucking solid.
It's really good.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah,
like,
I'm very happy with that.
I want to put Scolipede in either. I'm not sure if I want to put Scolipede in A or S tier, to be honest.
I'm gonna say A tier. I think up there with, like, I mean, it's mechanic. Well, no, because mechanic. Well, it doesn't. It still doesn't have quite the same variety that Butterfree and Venomoth have. But what it does have is it has variety in different places.
Yeah, but it does.
She's single. I love her. I mean, that's fair. We may have to bump everyone in A tier up to S tier at some point. But actually, you know what? You want to put it up in S tier, and you can bump Butterfree up to S tier as well. That make you happy?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, like, yeah, I'm putting Scolipede in S tier.
That is a dyke.
I'm putting Scolipede in S tier, and I'm going to put Butterfree. Butterfree's going to leave Venomoth behind and is going to go up to S tier. But Butterfree, like, for completely opposite reasons.
I was going to say
completely opposite reasons.
Butterfree and Scolipede as a couple, very femme and very butch.
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. These are the two lesbians at the bar who, like, they see somebody who is having a problem. Butterfree will go and just look after that problem. Scolipede will fuck up whoever's giving them that trouble.
Yep.
Okay, Scolipede is a fucking boss.
It's so good.
And they just married Butterfree, apparently, so hell yeah! Hell yeah, bug lesbians! That is not where I expected this stream to go, but fuck yeah, bug lesbians! Woo!
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, love wins, in fact. Love wins.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Right, who's next? Oh, hey, Chris. I'm gonna shut the fuck up, because this is entirely for you. Because this is your absolute favorite bug. Your one honey, your only, the queen. It's Vivillon!
This is my all-time favorite.
Have fun, I'm gonna take a nap.
Aren't they so pretty? And you want to know, if you don't like this pattern of Vivillon, don't worry, because it has like 30 other patterns.
32, I believe.
32. Like, Vivillon, they released Vivillon, and because the Pokemon Company loves anything that engages trading and getting other people to talk to each other and, like, human interaction, ew.
Those bastards!
I know, those absolute bastards. They released regional variants of Vivillon for basically every region of the planet, like the real Earth planet that they were selling the game in.
But it was more than that.
Realistically, that's about 32 territories.
Because they gave in like regionals within the game, and then they did regionals within the planet, and then they did like a couple of special edition ones as well.
Yeah, so like there's hunters, and actually it's in. I'm never sure if it's Vivillon or Vivian.
Vivillon.
It's just because
we're not Welsh here. We're not French here.
But it's from a French place.
Vivillon. Oh my god.
Vivillon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because Kalos is French.
No, dude.
What?
You gotta check the Pokedex entries for Vivillon.
I'm getting there.
Scarlet and Violet has a different Pokedex entry for every pattern.
Holy shit, they do. Oh my
fuck yeah, baby!
That's I also didn't know it was in Scarlet and Violet, so now I'm gonna have to. Okay, now I have to play it. Fuck.
Oh my god!
And I'm gonna have to catch every single pattern of Vivillon.
Right, there are 20 different Vivillons.
Right, it's a lot, and they're all beautiful. They're all absolutely stunning. They're lovely. Jay, if you can get up a picture of all the Vivillons.
I'm trying.
So good. But also, you know, that's just me absolutely adoring just a butterfly that can let all of its colors fly all the time. You know, I very much appreciate that, and I think it's gorgeous. Mechanically, it's also pretty great. Now, it runs slightly higher than the likes of Butterfree and Beedrill in terms of its stats. And basically, it has all garbage stats except for 3. It has solid health, solid special attack, and solid speed. And that's basically its thing. It wants to hit things first, and then survive the first attack to hit them second, and then it's gone.
Because that's the other thing. Well, here's the other thing. Speaking as someone who has faced 1 or 2 or 30 Vivillons in my time.
I run competitive Vivillon.
Brother of mine.
I really upset it with my competitive Vivillon.
Vivillon has what is technically known in the Pokemon competitive battling community. And this is a very technical term, I'm sorry if I lose any people. It's got a lot of what is known as cuntitude. That is to say, it's aptitude for being a cunt.
It does rather.
Yeah, because Vivillon is the fucking expert at just debilitating everyone. And then making whoever's standing next to it fucking wreck shop.
I mean, this is mainly because it has Compound Eyes and Sleep Powder and a really good speed stat.
Yeah!
But, like, also genuinely kind of lovely. It has a hidden ability that it shares with a bunch of fairy Pokemon, which is called Friend Guard.
Oh my
which
god.
reduces the damage to the other people. So it helps its friends. It just protects all its friends.
That's also not all of the Vivillon, I've just realised.
Yeah, no, it's got more Vivillon.
There's 2 missing, which I think are the Pokeball pattern and the Fancy pattern.
Yes, those exist. It also, Vivillon, and so Vivillon is great. It gets to put things to sleep. It gets Hurricane, which is great. So you run it in a rain team. Life is magical. It also gets a really interesting move that it is. It's been removed in later generations. Let me pull this up. So it learns a move just called Powder.
Oh yes, that was introduced in Gen 6. Wait, they killed Powder?
They've killed Powder,
That
which is
sucks.
really annoying. I know, because it's a great move.
The great move powers of Gen 7 and 8.
I know. Now, Powder is great because bug types obviously have a long-running issue with being set on fire. They don't like being set on fire.
Yeah.
Powder basically covers a fire type in gunpowder.
Yeah.
Which means as soon as they try to fire, they blow up.
So that's the thing. Do you know how moths flap their wings and release like poisonous dust? Vivillon does the same. With gunpowder!
Yup.
Hey, Chris!
Jay, it's a +1 priority move.
Hey, Chris.
What?
Vivillon's an artificer.
It is! Oh, that's so much fun.
I want to run a D&D
Vivillon
campaign
is-
where everybody's Pokemon.
Vivillon is a druid artificer multiclass.
Fuck yeah, baby! Chris.
Absolutely, like, min-maxing into wisdom and intelligence.
Okay, Chris. When we
Yep.
start running one-shots, D&D
Yep.
one-shots on this channel, which is
Mhm.
a plan I've alluded to many times.
Yep.
I'm going to run one where everybody's Pokemon, and we're going to sit down and make out custom races for everybody who chooses a Pokemon.
I'm hella for that. I'm absolutely
Because
for that.
And if nobody plays the Vivillon, I'm going to make a Vivillon Artificer NPC, because that's fucking great! I want
It
a
is,
Vivillon with a
absolutely.
gun!
Yes.
Vivi Cannon!
Yes. So, yes, Vivillon, thank you for putting it in S tier ahead of me demanding that it goes in S tier. Because it's gorgeous, and it's brilliant, and it's genius, and it's so good.
Okay. Just to throw my hat into the ring for this. Very briefly. I love the regional variation of it. I love that it changes the patterns of the wings, and it has ruined my day enough that I can't argue with it mechanically. Vivillon belongs in S tier. Okay, and also, just to, if I haven't gotten rid of it yet, I hope I haven't, just to zoom in on it a lot, form regardless, look at that face!
It's so happy.
It's just so happy, and it's so happy to be here, and it's so happy to see you. Vivillon deserves its place in S tier, not just because Chris is absolutely mad for it.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a big hugglebug.
Give me my Vivillon or give me death, okay? Like, I probably, like, at this point I would not train one out of respect for you having it, but yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It's so good.
However, next off, we're moving into the slightly more badass end of the spectrum, and we're moving into Gen 7 with my big boy, the bad Quagga Beetle, Vikavolt.
Now, Vikavolt is hilarious.
Vikavolt's a weird one.
Vikavolt is bizarre. Vikavolt starts as a caterpillar,
Yep.
then becomes a bus.
Yep. It's a
Then
little
becomes-
cuboid bus. I'm gonna show you Charjabug, because Charjabug has a wonderful design. Like Grubbin is like a little beetle with its two big mandibles that just goes.
Yeah.
And then you get Charjabug, who's a fucking bus.
It's
a bus.
It's the cat bus from Totoro.
If
but
it was a bug.
And the best bit, my favorite.
If Franz
bit about
Kafka
it-
directed My Neighborhood Totoro.
I know. My favorite fucking bit about it is that the sound it makes is an accordion.
I did not know that, and that's amazing.
Its cry in the game is like an accordion. It's so good. Now, this is the thing though, because you have these, and they're pretty solid, and they're great, and then they evolve into Vikavolt, and everything changes.
Because that's the thing, is like, throughout their evolution, Grubbin and then Charjabug, it does look a bit like a taser. Grubbin and Charjabug are both very physical attackers. Like Chris has mentioned, as I have referred to it previously, the separation of church and state when it comes to Pokemon. As I love to refer to it, and I shall never refer to it otherwise. When they made sure that like some moves are physical attacks and some moves are special attacks, as opposed to being defined if they're special or physical by their typing. Grubbin and Charjabug all are really focused on physical attack. Vikavolt is a huge special attacker.
And it's only special attack.
Yeah.
Like it just goes all in.
Yeah.
145 base special attack. And it's here to stay.
Yeah. So they're really powerful, but like as soon as you get one, you have to take it to the move shooter and wipe it clean.
Yeah, you literally have to completely reteach it how to be itself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You've
Like it got in a bus crash and then has to go through physical therapy.
Yeah.
Or in this case, special therapy.
And also, like, for a bug that can fly, and it's got this really cool semicircular wing pattern we've discussed
I
with
love
previous.
it. I love it.
It's got a base speed stat of 43.
Yeah, that's really slow. This is a really slow bug, which, to be fair, does make sense, because do you remember how you first meet a Vikavolt in Sun and Moon?
Slowly.
Yeah, you're going up against this dude who's putting you through like a quiz and like a set of 3 battles. So it's a really cool encounter. It's genuinely like a really cool encounter. But throughout the entire thing, you're getting like a first-person view of this Vikavolt zooming towards you. But it takes like 3 quiz questions and 3 battles
zooming
to
at
get
a solid
to you.
5 mile an hour.
Yeah, this is a bug that uses a stair lift. Despite the fact it can fly, okay?
Yeah.
Vikavolt it's huge as well.
Yeah, it's 4'11".
Yeah, it's like 5 feet long, okay? Most of that is pincer, but still. It's just... I don't know what to do with Vikavolt, to be honest with you. Because I love the design. I fucking love the way the Vikavolt looks. It's got the 2 big long pincers that are giving you like taser and a little bit of rail cannon vibes. It's got the huge single semicircular wing pattern.
Full Monty Python charging at the castle. Yes, that's exactly
Blubber's like, ah! And then you've got like sort of like split wing design of the shell. It's a really fucking cool design, and it's really, really powerful. But at the same time, I can't help but feeling kind of about Vikavolt.
Yeah, I'm like, my struggle with Vikavolt is that although the design is beautiful, although it's really strong mechanically speaking, it's very solid. It has levitate as an ability.
Levitate.
Yeah, that's its only
kills
ability.
Electric's only weakness.
Yeah, which I mean, Bug and Electric is already great typing because you're not weak to ground to start with. You only have 2 weaknesses, which are Rock and Fire. Like, it's a really good typing, Electric and Bug. And it gets some ground moves. It can learn Dig.
Vikavolt can learn Dig.
It can learn Dig.
You'd be an idiot to teach it to it, but still.
Yeah. It's like, but it is also the fact that, realistically, to make Vikavolt good, you have to spend all your time on TMs. You have to get it to totally relearn everything. It's just, it's the amount of, like, okay, now I have it. Now I need to, like, change everything. That is not... I don't like that about it. And I feel like that is to its detriment in terms of, when you're raising one.
Honestly, with everything that is Vikavolt, I kind of want to put it in C.
I would put it in B, because I think regardless,
but you can't get B-type batteries.
It can only run on double A's.
Yeah.
So this is the thing.
You evolve Vikavolt by shoving 2 double A's up its bum.
Yeah, Vikavolt could never be average.
No, you're right. It's too powerful for that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not bad either at what it does. It's just a lot of effort, and it's unnecessary effort.
Yeah. Considering what we have in C tier, I think B is probably more appropriate, right?
Yeah. I feel like a B is fair.
Yeah. Because I don't like it enough to put it in A tier, is the thing.
No. It's a shame.
Despite the fact that probably if you put a Venomoth and a Vikavolt head-to-head, Vikavolt would possibly come out on top.
I think quite likely Vikavolt would come out on top just for the stats, but also Venomoth would last a little while.
Yeah. Right, now let's kind of continue from this sort of like strange, weird Kawaga Beetle, and let's get weird with Orbeetle.
I love Orbeetle.
Orbeetle is a sci-fi mecha ladybug. What the fuck?
It's great.
Like, Orbeetle is so weird.
It is so weird. It's so Orbeetle. Just to explain Orbeetle's evolution and how it gets there.
Yeah, it goes Blipbug, and then it goes whatever the fucking D20 is, and then it goes. So then it goes Orbeetle.
It starts as a little Pokemon.
Give me ex-wife vibes.
A little bit. So it starts as a little Pokemon called
Blipbug.
Called Blipbug But show a picture of Blipbug, because Blipbug's adorable.
Yeah, no, like Orbital's entire line is cute as shit.
Yeah, it's a tiny little alien bug that is confused about where
Look
it
at
is.
that! Look at he's got a little bow tie. Look at the little gentleman.
Yeah, like, and you look at that and you have no idea what it is eventually going to become.
Yeah, because it goes
Until
from
it
that
evolves.
into this motherfucker.
Yeah, it evolves into Dottler, which is, quite frankly, something out of fucking Strange Encounters of the Third Kind.
Like, Blipbug is the little gentleman who gets radicalized by YouTube and digs himself a bunker, and that's how Dottler happens.
I was gonna go with NASA graduate.
Oh,
Okay.
right, no, Blipbug is the one NASA graduate that's not allowed to talk to people. Because, because they'll say something truly, truly horrifying, but they're, at the same time, so smart.
Yeah, so they build themselves a Mars rover.
Yeah, they're the NASA graduate that has to have a Secret Service escort at all times. Not just because they're really important to national security, but because it makes sure that to make sure that they wear trousers in public.
Yes.
And
then
Dottler
that
is them in the
eventually-
labs.
Yeah, and then that eventually means it evolves into, realistically, a UFO.
Yeah, like Orbital is when they finally achieve their dream and you know, enter space Gurren Lagann style. Here's the thing: you want to talk about UFOs? Let's go back to Gigantamax, because Orbital is from Gen 8.
Means it Gigantamax.
Which means, and it got a Gigantamax fan, which is a literal fucking UFO.
Yeah,
This is a beetle from
big.
space.
It is in
You want
fact a
Starship
beetle from
Troopers?
space.
That's the starship.
Yeah, it is very much a beetle from space, and it's great.
Yeah, that's the one guy who got in trouble for building a nuclear reactor in his shed.
Yeah, and also I would like to put, Jay, if you could just zoom in to the front of Orbital there. It's still got his little legs.
Leggies.
And, like,
Leggies.
the head has grown so big.
Yeah.
But it's still got its little leggies.
Orbital is this one guy who, and I really hope I'm allowed to say this without Special Branch coming and knocking on my door, is, like, he reminds me a hell of a lot of a story our dad once told us about a guy who worked for the British government, and his job was to, basically he calculated missile trajectories in his head. But this was a guy who was so smart that he had to go around with a Secret Service escort, and he went off his meds one time and dismantled his entire car, cleaned it piece by piece down to the bolts, and put the whole thing back together again over a weekend. Because he went off the medication.
I mean,
That's who Orbital is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think.
And yes, he does
have.
have super hemorrhoids.
Okay, I think for that super hemorrhoids comment, Orbital has to go in. I don't think we can put Orbital higher than B tier.
No, and this.
But also,
is
I think it's the first actual bug psychic type we've had.
It is. It's the only bug psychic type, and it's mechanically speaking, it's really solid. It has a base defense of 110, base special
Mental.
defense of 120, special attack of 80, speed of 90, stat total of 505.
That's actually not bad. That's a pretty decent generalist spec for a bug type.
Given so hefty on the defense, you've got a lot of really good support moves as well. Reflect and light screen, confuse rate at a really early level, magic coat to reflect status abilities,
Yeah.
ally switch, mirror coat, after you, calm mind, psychic terrain. It's absolutely meant to be a support Pokemon. One problem:
Mm-hmm.
Bug Psychic has 6 weaknesses.
Oh fuck! Because we've got. Let me think.
Flying, Rock, Bug, Ghost, Fire, and Dark.
Oh, that's not great.
It's not great. There's no times 4s, but that is 6 weaknesses.
That's not great.
But also, hidden ability telepathy.
Telepathy's really good, but also.
Yeah. So it's a really, I think it's a brilliant, like, double battle support. I think it's a brilliant double battle support.
You would have to
But-
pair it with something that is really, really scary with a lot of, like, you'd have to pair it with something that is maining Earthquake or like Surf as its main abilities
Yeah,
to make
you
use out of
need
the telepathy, because that's
Yeah.
I mean, with
It's-
telepathy Pokemon, I'd really rather run a Gothitelle.
I think Gothitelle would be reasonable. I think, but again, less support abilities.
Less support, but at the same time, ugh,
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
Like, that's-
I would say,
not like
It's-
to make up for that many weaknesses. You'd need some really stellar defenses.
yeah.
I know Beetle
and-
doesn't have that. It just has like good defenses, but
Yeah, I think really good defense, but not god tier.
yeah,
So yeah, I think I would give it a B for being a really good support specialist, but without the stats necessarily to back it up.
yeah. I think we're putting our boy in B.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna move on a little bit quickly because we are very coming up close to time.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about something that is again in a slight theme of our tier list, something that is eclipsed by its previous evolution. It's Frostmoth.
Frostmoth is not. I mean, it's a snob.
Yes, Snom. Okay, we love our Snom. Okay, Snom is adorable. Okay, I'm gonna show you Frostmoth. That's a really nice design. That's
It's
a
very
really
pretty.
fucking pretty Pokemon. Like, that's really elegant antenna. It's got that sort of really big chunky scarf look that works great on an ice type because it's ice bug, because it's a frost moth. I love the wings. The wings are a very nice, like, elegant shape. Weirdly, yeah, it's very soft. I also
Yeah.
I kind of dig the fact that it doesn't have limbs. Is that weird?
No, it's just really cool, and it's just like it just fly.
But in terms of design, it evolves from this little guy,
Who is snob?
who is Snom, who is, I believe, to this day, the only Pokemon that I have never nicknamed. No, I think Lechonk is the only other Pokemon that comes out of that where I have never nicknamed it because I cannot come up with a better name than what it actually has.
It's just a snob.
It's a Snom!
And I have to say, it is one of those Pokemon that just like it turned up and it stole the internet's heart.
Didn't Vari fucking crochet a Snom with a knife in its mouth?
Yes, she did.
Do you have that to your hand?
No, because she gave it to Alex.
Damn! But yeah, Snom is adorable, but we're not talking about Snom. Although I think Snom, I love Snom so much that I
So
think
good.
it gets. What does Ice Scales do?
Ice Scales is brilliant. Ice Scales.
Holy shit!
Yeah, half damage from all special moves.
Holy shit! Fuck!
Yeah.
Chris.
Ice Scales is brilliant.
Chris,
Yes.
how many fire physical moves are there? Because I think there's only two.
Realistically,
I can-
Flame Charge in this.
I can think of
Fire
three.
Lash,
Flame Charge, Fire Lash, and Blaze Kick are the only ones I can think of.
Blaze Kick, and the
Heat Crash.
Heat Crash, and what was Infernape's one?
Oh, Flare Blitz.
Flare Blitz. 5.
Cool. So a lot of the fire moves that you're going to be using, things like Blast Burn and Flamethrower, are special moves, right?
Yeah.
So Frostmoth's frankly atrocious 4 times weakness to fire is largely mitigated by its hidden ability,
Yes.
making it a 2 times weakness.
Yes. Also, and this is
We
really
cannot put this
cool.
bug lower than A tier.
No, we can't because it's fucking gorgeous.
What the fuck? Look at that design. It's got an amazing ability. It's got a really interesting typing in Bug and Ice. Like,
Yeah.
I love ice types. I fucking love ice types, okay? I didn't... Despite the fact that, mechanically speaking, by all metrics, ice types suck. In general, ice types really do suck. They got a huge boost recently.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
ice type. Ice type is one of those where like as an offensive move type, it's great. So you always want a Pokemon
Yeah.
with ice type moves, but you don't want a Pokemon that is itself ice type.
Because it's got a huge amount of weaknesses, and in general, ice type stats are not great. Ice types have really not got a lot of chunky Pokemon. Like, they made an ice type Pokemon that was designed to be really chunky, and it was Avalugg, which is basically an iceberg on legs, by the way.
It is.
And it sucks. Avalugg is crap.
It does, however, have a base 185 defense.
Yes, and it's got a sub-base 50 special defense, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it does. It is very much the Chansey of ice types.
Yeah. Avalugg sucks ass, and it's not got a great health stat either.
No.
Which really puts the nail in its coffin. But I fucking love Ice type. I ran an entire Ice type team for Pokemon Platinum, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, you get shit like Mamoswine, like his Avalugg and Mamoswine, because the two chunky ones. And then you get shit like that was the time I discovered, holy shit, Delibird's actually really fun.
Delibird is fun. Also, Glaceon. Glaceon is peak Ice type.
Yeah, Glaceon's also really chunky.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Frostmoth.
Yeah.
Frostmoth has a gorgeous, elegant design. It comes from a Pokemon that is it just radiates adorableness from every pore, and I'm hoping that I've stalled long enough to give you time to look up its moveset.
So I have looked up its moveset. So its moveset, now this is the thing. So Frostmoth is very much, it's a special attacker, 125 base special attack. It's not very fast, 65 base speed, so that's not brilliant.
It's not quick.
No, it's not quick, and it kind of needs to be, because it has 2x4 weaknesses in rock and fire.
Yeah, but rock types are traditionally not that quick either, unless you're liking rock.
Exactly, but it's also got a really good ability, which comes in clutch from time to time. Not always, because again, the weaknesses in question.
It's not as good as Fluffy. But still.
And like a lot of bugs, it favors the use of moves like Quiver Dance to boost its stats before it goes. But it also gets a whole bunch of great Ice-type moves, as well as a bunch of good support moves, in the form of things like Helping Hand, Tailwind, Wide Guard, etc. Feather Dance, Defog, Mist.
Yeah.
So it plays both fields.
It's got a lot to offer.
Yeah, you can go heavy into support, or you can go heavy into offense. And of course, it gets the great ice move, Aurora Veil, the one that made ice types viable competitively.
Which now also, by the way, because of the way that they've changed the hail weather condition, I'm sure I told you about this, because they changed it. It's not hail anymore; it's snow.
Right.
Instead of doing chip damage every round, it boosts the defensive stats of ice types.
Which is a bit like Sandstorm, except Sandstorm does chip damage and boosts the defensive stats of rock types.
Sandstorm just I can never remember because it also reduces evasion, but it's like Snowstorm boosts it 50%.
Yeah,
so Snowstorm plus Aurora Veil.
Yeah.
Which can only be used in Snowstorm anyway.
Yep.
Mental.
Well, this is the thing, and I discovered this about Sandstorm and this is from like Gen 3, I think, onwards. Sandstorms boost rock types special defense stat by 50%, and has done for ages.
Snowstorm does both.
That's pretty good.
As far as I'm aware,
but it's just like it's the idea that Sandstorm has done that, like
forever.
From like Gen 3, and like nobody talks about it.
That's mental.
Yeah, Sandstorm teams are broke.
Yes. I think it's mostly because they really, really suffer if you bring a water type out.
Yeah, well, this is why, Credilli was invented.
Yes.
Anyway, off topic.
Frostmoth is A tier.
I would say it's A tier.
I would put Frostmoth at A tier. Like, unfortunately, due to its typing and its weaknesses, I don't feel comfortable putting it in S.
Yeah, it's not quite so perfect as
it's
to
not
be S,
quite up to the
is
level
gorgeous.
of something like Scolipede or Vivillon.
Mm.
Right, I am actually going to skip one because of time, because we are now over 2 hours.
Yes, we are.
But I just want to quickly talk about, just very quickly, on my own, I'm going to talk about this guy. This is Lokix. It is one of the new Pokemon from Gen 9 from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's a bug and dark type, which is very interesting. I have not trained one, but I plan to in my next Pokemon Scarlet playthrough. So actually, I don't have a lot to say about Lokix, except I'm kind of hyped about training one.
Fair enough.
I'm interested in training one. They look really cool. I think they look very interesting with like a whole Common Rider thing going on.
Yep.
But I'm not actually going to put them on the tier list because I don't have enough to say about them. So I'm going to actually disqualify Lokix.
That's fair.
For sheer force if we don't have enough time or testing.
Yeah.
So,
which means we need to talk about our final and most
yeah, we need to talk about the
bug.
best bug, the most powerful bug we have.
The most powerful bug, because as we said, this is Pokemon that have a larval stage, a pupil stage, and a final stage. For
Of course.
The vast majority.
So we're talking about Tyranitar.
Yes! The best bug!
The best bug. This is Tyranitar. For those of you who don't know, he is scary.
A dark and rock type pseudo legendary, and
Dark
the
and Rock
best
type
bug.
pseudo legendary. And I'm just gonna quickly Just gonna quickly get up the page for its previous stages. Because here's the thing. Tyranitar evolves from this, which is quite literally a pupate.
Yep.
This is Pupitar.
Yeah. It's a literal rock cocoon.
It is a rock cocoon. And it starts off from this little guy.
Larvitar.
Larvitar. Who is named
literal
after
larva.
who is a rock larva. So we quite literally have a larva, a pupate, and a final metamorphosed form.
Therefore, Tyranitar is butterfly.
Tyranitar is a wingless butterfly. I will not be accepting commentary. Now, Tyranitar is an interesting one.
Why? Because it kills everybody all the time.
Because it's terrifying, but also one fighting type will end it.
Yeah, times 4 weakness to fight.
A time 4 weakness to fighting and a weakness to water. Like I have wrecked so many Tyranitar in my time.
But it's equally well the reason that everybody runs Tyranitar, aside from the fact that it is a pseudo-legendary and therefore has the most stats.
But Godzilla is best friends with a bug. Mothra loves Godzilla. Godzilla once absorbed Mothra. Therefore, Godzilla is part bug. In this essay, I will.
You know too much about Godzilla.
I don't know how I know that. I've never seen I've seen the only Godzilla movie I have seen start to finish is the 2004 one with Matthew Broderick.
See,
The Godzilla
I remember
that
enjoying
was
that
so
one.
the Godzilla that was so bad that Toho bought the rights exclusively so they could have that Godzilla on screen getting murdered in the space of 5 seconds by the real Godzilla.
I'd forgotten about that one. Yeah,
It's the greatest fuck you of a movie studio I've ever seen in my life.
I would also like to point out, though, that the 2004 Godzilla movie spawned a semi-successful cartoon series.
So many things did. Fucking, there's a RoboCop cartoon series, man.
That
There's a
doesn't
Mask
surprise me.
cartoon series. And have you ever seen how
The
fucked
Mask
up... You ever seen how fucked up the comics were?
No, I
No,
haven't.
you need to look this up.
Okay.
Go on YouTube, look up Comics Explains, whole series on The Mask, okay? It's really mental, man. It's fucking nuts. But
Fair
again,
enough.
Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar.
Yes! It's a
Tyranitar is
tyrant butterfly!
Tyranitar is a butterfly that spews sand. Because it has
Jay.
Sand Stream, and it has Hyper Beam, and it's just a big scary boy.
And it can be spec'd heavily into special or physical attack if you feel fancy. And it's 134 base attack. It's a chunky asshole. And it has a mega.
It has a mega. Like, which is actually more insectoid.
It is more insectoid.
Like, that's a lot more insectoid.
Yeah.
It looks
But I
like Space Godzilla, but still.
Yeah. I would also like to just
Look at
let
the
you know,
deceptive
Jay,
eyes on its chest. This is an insect.
something I had forgotten to mention. Tyranitar, because it's rockin' dark, it's got 7 weaknesses.
Yeah, Tyranitar sucks defensively. Bring me Metagross.
It does, that's fair. But also, its move pool is so good.
It so is.
And it is, yeah.
Like, all of the pseudo-legendaries, I would not run a Tyranitar. Actually, there's another thing. Here's the thing. Here, and you don't know about this, because you haven't played Scarlet and Violet.
No.
Here's Robo-Tyranitar! We got a robot version!
We got Mecha Godzilla!
We've got Godzilla, Space Godzilla, and Mecha Godzilla! I'm putting Tyranitar in S tier. Fuck you, that's our stream!
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to the stream.
Thanks,
where we
everybody, for coming
explain
out
how
on this
Godzilla is a
bullshit.
butterfly.
Hey Chris, let's plug ourselves. You can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my games company, Old Alliance Games.
How big is the boy? That's a good. Sorry. How big is the boy? While you do that, Tyranitar is 6'7".
Yeah, Tyranitar's bigger than me, and that's kind of always a big stage for Pokemon.
But smaller than Scolipede.
But smaller than Scolipede, so Scolipede's still looking about going, fuck you saying, boy. And Scolipede learns, I'm pretty sure Scolipede learns moves that could wreck Tyranitar.
Yes, it does.
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my games company at old_games. You can follow me on Patreon at JonathanDavidHoney. Today, in fact, I have released 2 things. The latest chapter of my story series, We Are Not Legends. The 12th installment, so there's plenty of things for you to read to catch up. Please, please read it. Please, I just want people to read the things I write. I'm not asking for money. It's all up on my website, jonathandavidhoney.com. Please just read it. I hope you like it. I also released a review for a game called Bomber Crew today, which is mustaches. Mustaches and killing Germans. That's all it's about.
Fair.
Although the review is still worth a good read. I'm not going to say whether it's good or not. That's up to you. Read the review. Please, for the love of God, read the review. You can follow Chris at ChrisHoneyActor on Instagram. And yeah, you're always welcome here at The Brothers Honey Twitch and at The Brothers Honey YouTube channel, where the video for this will be going up tomorrow, if I do my shit right.
Yay!
So...
We are glad that you had the fun stream with the insect boys and also us, the honey boys.
The Honey Brothers, the Brothers Honey. I hope you have all enjoyed us bugging you about this bullshit. I'm not apologizing for that pun. Thank you everybody for coming out. This has been really fun. This is more Pokemon than we've talked about before ever. So hence why I had to cut low kicks.
And it's been wild. So now
great.
Off.
So you know what?
Bye!
Bye everybody! We're off here.
Beautiful.